One day at a time, one day at a time. Da, na, na, na. Hello, Laura here with Joyful Miles, a channel that is all about inspiring others to enjoy life 1 mile at a time. The whole time I'm like, don't say day, don't say day, don't say day. We are continuing with our Wine and Dine half marathon weekend chat. In our previous one, we talked about the 10K. Today is going to be about the half marathon and the after party. As usual, we have Jackie and we have Rob. So let's just get into it with the half marathon.
Morning of the half. So what time do you guys get there?
We got to the race at a nice time. Leslie waited in line for, who was she waiting in line for, Jackie? Was it Chef Mickey?
Yes.
Yes. So we got a picture with Chef Mickey. And, oh, by the way, our costumes were really cute.
Oh, right.
We were from the Cars this time. Jackie was Lightning McQueen. I was the King. Shannon and Leslie were the flags. They wore checkered skirts and bows. They were so cute. So that was a really fun costume. Megan just wore some comfortable clothes for the half. Because she was busy with travel and all that. So, but yeah, we got there. We met our big group. We got pictures with Chef Mickey. And then we moved over to, what was it, Jackie? It was Donald and Goofy?
Yeah, and they were in their chef clothes this time.
I think we only got 2, right?
Yeah, we wanted to do Remy and that, but the lines were just too long. Was that was the race where they lost power at one point?
They lost their power.
Like all the power, the DJ, the lights. So here you're like, for those people that were in line finally to get their picture with the characters and all the lights were out. So hopefully the photo pass photographers still turned out for those people.
The flashes.
But it was kind of weird because we were like, this race is cursed with the rain.
Seriously?
2 years ago, and then last year.
And
but then it came back. I don't know. They must have figured it out. It was out for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
About 15 minutes. And then
Megan did bag check for us. She checked my bag for me. Of course, I forgot to get my charger out, which, yeah, that was ended up being a situation later on. And then we walked to the corrals.
The lines for the bathrooms for the corrals, I have never, before you go into the corrals, I've never seen that long. And I was like, if I stand there.
I always feel like those are long lines, so I'm trying to think like what this looks like if you're saying it's that bad.
They were so long compared to the morning before. Like the morning before, the 10K had maybe 15. This had probably 100 people per line, and there was like a whole row of porta potties. I was just, I'll hold it.
I think the ones that were on, like, here is the staging area and all the characters. Here's the one section of porta pots where you go here to the corrals, and then over to the left was another big section of porta pots. The lines for those were shorter.
Yeah, they were like at the opposite end of where you had to go.
You don't call them porta pots?
Porta pots.
Porta pots.
Porta potties is what it. No.
Maryland.
Johnny on the spot.
The crappas, all right, the crappas.
And so what was the theme of this race? Who was at the start for this one?
I think Chef Mickey, right? It was just Chef Mickey and Minnie. Chef Mickey and Minnie.
Okay.
It's funny because now that I've done it 2 years, if you can even think back to last year of standing waiting to see if we're going to start or not, like it comes back to you. You're like, oh, I remember this standing in this area last year. Yeah. Even the year before, I remember standing in the trees right there covering me when the rain started. So it's funny because it's a unique area that you start at compared to marathon.
Did we mention that it was at the ESPN Wide World of Sports?
Yeah. And I gotta tell you, I think I wish they would start every race from there. I just think it's very conducive to the pre-race atmosphere, and it's a lot better, I think, starting there than ending. I really hate ending at Wild World of Sports.
I can't imagine ending there.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's got to be anticlimactic.
It's so bad. Ugh.
So I guess at this point we go in the corrals, and it was that tip. It felt a little, I think, better the race announcing, but the fireworks were great again, and they were on the stage, Rudy, Chris, and John. And I don't know. For me, it went pretty fast. I was at a faster corral than I think I was a G, but it was good.
I started in C, and I had a really cool moment because I got in the very back, and it was cool because like everyone took off, and here's me hobbling by myself over the start line, and Carissa gave a really nice shout out to me, and then they have like a row of spectators to the left, and tons of people. And everyone in my crowd is already running, and I'm by myself in the dark, hobbling with, firework debris falling around me. And I just looked over and I went, woo! And everyone just went insane for the boot hobbler. I started to cry. It was very emotional. It was very sweet. Everyone was being really encouraging. And, it was a better start than the 10K. I handled that one a little bit better. So thanks to all those
back
people.
In G Corral, we heard your shout out. I'm like, they're talking about Laura. Like I knew it was you.
I know her.
I know that.
I know the gimpy boot lady.
It was so sweet. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but the one thing about this half, walking with the boot, it was one of my worst races, but it was also one of my best. People were just really amazing. Walking by and, cheering me on and being so inspiring and telling me that I have this. And, it was so sweet and just so encouraging. And, it meant a lot to me. So anyone who's watching this, if you gave me a shout out, I really appreciate it.
I think that speaks to the power of and it's something that I think a lot of us take for granted, especially if we're not, hurting. The power of the crowds, the power of the spectators, the people that get up that early. I mean, people think we're crazy to get up and run. You got to be even crazier to get up and just watch the race and to cheer people on. I mean, that's dedication. That's true dedication. And the time they take to make signs and to call people out by name. I mean, I know I've been called out before because people see our names on the bibs. You got this, like you said, and that's a huge asset to these runners that you don't really think about.
Yeah.
That being said, there was not many places on the course where there could be spectators to watch you, though. It was
so let's get to that. So
a lot of highway.
The course goes out, and you're immediately on the highway for a while, right? As you head towards Animal Kingdom.
Yes, it's basically reverse for those of you who have run the full marathon. I call it the highway of death when you're doing
Osceola.
Yeah,
Osceola,
I call it highway of death.
Yeah.
I don't know the street names, but it's that stretch between mile 13 and 16 or 17 there. That's where you start, that highway, but in reverse.
Yeah.
And very first characters we saw was mile 1. I was kind of like, yes, they're going to have lots of characters, and it was my favorites, was the Country Bears.
I was so jealous. I walked past it.
Well, of course I get in line, and then they take a break, and unfortunately, the pictures in the dark never turned out as good either, so I was a little disappointed in that. But I was happy. I was like, okay, cool. I got my one character that I want to see done. But then you're on that stretch for a good 3 to 4 miles with there were no other characters for a long time.
Not until we got into Animal Kingdom.
But I'm not trying to be negative or picky, but I think it was around mile 3. I don't even get what it was. They had a truck from My World of Sports with these dancers on it. They look almost like exotic dancers with like these ropes, like these glowing light ropes, like LED rope lights, like you would have on your house. Just dancing, swinging with like, and I was just kind of like, really? This is what? I just found it really weird. I was like, this is it? Because I remember reading like, oh, the course is going to have great entertainment along the way. And I was like, this is what they picked. Just found it odd. Even if they had done a selfie station like they did in Disneyland, like when Lotso was on the truck, like that could have been awesome because you don't need a lot of handlers with that. You just have people running. So I just thought that was a big cheese moment.
So as you came into Animal Kingdom in the parking lot, was there anything in the parking lot prior to getting into the park?
They had Rafiki. They had Rafiki.
No,
sorry.
before that though, they had bands. Remember, because they were playing Rocky.
Okay.
That's right.
That's nice.
So that was kind of cool. They had like a high school band, which was right when we ran into Laura. So it was kind of cool because we're coming through the parking lot and then we see Laura there and then some other friends of ours, and we kind of all got a nice group picture in the parking lot. So that helps because the parking lot is awful. They're worse than the highways.
That's a big parking lot in Animal Kingdom too. You feel like you're in there forever.
The sun's coming up and you're just like, and so the music helped. And then we saw Rafiki, right as you're kind of coming into the, security checkpoint for for
And
animals.
then right through that was Baloo. We saw Baloo. And then they had Timon by Kilimanjaro Safari, right?
I think he was a little closer to where you go toward Africa. Oh, yeah. Sorry. You're right. I'm thinking of Cali River Rapids. Sorry.
Then Miko. Where was Miko at again?
Was he near, like, Everest or Cali River Rapids, kind of up in that?
Right. And then Chip and Dale.
Which were out of the park.
Mm-hmm. Running through Animal Kingdom was always amazing. That's my second favorite park.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites to run through.
I love it. It was
just so short. I felt like it's so short.
I know, you're not there very long.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Really, that was the only park experience. I mean, Epcot was really, I don't know, maybe a mile. So figure a mile in Animal Kingdom, a mile in Epcot. So that's 11 miles of highway.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, so you get out of Animal Kingdom and then you're on the highways again for another 8 miles.
You end up where by the sewage plant. Then it's those backwoods roads that you run on for the marathon. So wasn't thrilled with that. Then
they did have they had Mike and Sully at mile 7.
That was I thought a really cool character meet. I thought the scene they had up there with the doors looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I wish they had them out for the 10K. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then after that, they had some actors from Streetmosphere. Okay, thank you, Rob. But then they had a Darkwing Duck. That would have been the
one I really geeked out on to see Darkwing and Launchpad.
That line was insane, absolutely insane. I don't know what it was like for you.
We waited. I was like, you know what? I know this is a really rare one. Certain ones I've had before. That one I don't know if I've had. And they had the airplane out there too, so it was kind of.
They had it out for Marathon Weekend too. Then they had Lilo. I don't think Stitch was out when I was there. Did you see Stitch?
No, I don't. When I ran by, neither were there. They were on break. So.
I saw Shannon and Leslie, and I think it was like around the mile 9 mark. It was really nice to see them because they were actually tracking the balloon ladies, so they knew when they were crossing over. So they were able to tell me that they have crossed over the 10K at about they were like a mile and a half back. So it still made me panic. So the first 9 or 10 miles I took way too fast. I was walking anywhere from like a 14 to 16 minute pace, and that was just way too fast. And then after that, I slowed down. I cooled my jets, and then once we got into Epcot and we saw Horace and Clarabelle, I was like, you know what? I'm getting a character picture. Oh, I got the stilts. We saw the stilts guys again. Do you remember where they were at? They were
at the.
I can picture them. I know they were near maybe 11, something like that. But then once we got into the park, I got the picture with Clarabelle, and we came into Epcot, and I saw Phineas and Ferb. Did not get a picture with them, but I did get a picture with Jeannie, with our good friend Kelly Jean, who was running her first half marathon. I got to finish with her. She was so emotional. It was really sweet. It was awesome. I got great video. So yeah, that was my experience. Jackie finished like half an hour before me, I think. More than that, maybe.
Considering like everything, I don't feel like it was that far ahead, honest. Because we got out, ate a little bit, and then I got in line for Remy. And got through that, and then everyone was finishing it right at that point. So it wasn't like ridiculously, but
It was great crossing the finish line because Carissa saw my boots, so she gave me a great shout out. So did Rudy and John Pilkey. They were really sweet. So of course I cried for like the 20th time that day. And then I got my medals, got my picture, got my challenge medal. I went to bag checkout. I got my bag. And then who do I see at the exit? There's Jackie and Shannon and Leslie and James, and they're all like...
We're all waiting for her outside the tent.
I cried again. It was just...
So we had to give her...
It was so sweet that they all waited for me, and it was just really lovely. It was great seeing them. So, I never want to do a race in a boot again. But There's a lot of lovely moments in it that kind of, really showed you what the true running community is all about,
Yeah, and I think this was a different race for you, and it was very emotional on a lot of different fronts, and I think having that support definitely helped you through it.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
So you get to the finish, you get your pretty medals. We already kind of touched on the half medal. Lemire Challenge, how was it?
Beautiful.
Yeah, just as pretty in person.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It's beautiful. By the time I finished, there was everything was pretty much packed up. I mean, the beer line was too long, so we ended up coming back to All Stars, and
Going to
I
bed.
chilled with James. Well, yeah, I chilled with James for a while. We had a beer and chatted, and went to the room, and we showered up and took a nap.
Because later that night,
Later that
you
night,
had the after party to think about.
we had the after party.
Again, different from last year, like we had said. You're not going right from the race to the after party. You had a lag in between. So you had everybody showing up pretty much at the same time to go to this after party. So what time did you guys get to Epcot, and kind of walk us through how that evening kind of unfolded?
So we got to Epcot, I think around 6 maybe, and we stopped at Via Napoli for dinner. We took our time, really.
Awesome pizza. Oh my gosh, we shoveled.
So good, I dream. And probably finished around like 7:45, but we had gotten, due to some ticketing issues and errors, we ended up getting 3 free fast passes to anything
Yes.
day for 5 people. So after we ate, we went right away over to Norway and did the new Frozen.
Wow.
So that was awesome. And then we went over to did Test Track. And then we ventured over to Soren. So it was like we hit the 3.
We did the biggies.
So from 8, the party officially started at 10, but they were letting people in at 8. But from 8 to 9, things were open, but then they closed because we headed over to England, and they closed the Crown. What's it called?
Frozen Crown.
Frozen Crown, right?
Crown. They closed it at 9 to 10.
So that was going to be my big question. So how do they control? So I assume after Illuminations, they want to start shuffling the regular park crowd out so that you can have the after party. How do they control that? Because I know, like with Magic Kingdom, for the parties you get like wristbands. Did you?
We got wristbands.
Yes, they had wristband stations.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly don't think anyone saw my wristband. I don't think you needed one.
I'm just thinking Epcot's a little harder to control, especially at Food and Wine, because you've got all these kiosks with all these people.
It's dark.
It's exactly. I don't know. Like
I was actually reading on
harder to control.
I was reading on a Facebook group today. Just someone asked their thoughts, and someone said the party was so crowded and so many people didn't have bracelets on.
Yeah.
And as long as you weren't doing rides, I don't think they cared.
Yeah.
They were,
Well, that's what I mean, because
Right.
usually, like, with the parties, they kind of police it because they don't want, they won't let you in attractions, they won't let you stand around watching the parades. But with Epcot, it's different because it's like you're here, they're not gonna let you get in line to get food. Who's controlling that? Like I don't know.
I mean, I know we had some friends in our group that were there probably a little past 10, and then they probably ventured on out. But they nobody came and said, "Do you have your bracelets?" Or who cared?
Right.
So
I don't know if they were looking when we did character photos or not. I guess I wasn't paying attention if they were paying attention.
Yeah. So did you feel that it was more crowded than last year?
Oh, it's so crowded.
Yeah.
But we hung out at the UK area where the one statue is. It's not a statue. It's where we met last year, Rob, for the big group picture.
Right.
So everyone that came in kind of made it to that. We got a couple really nice group pictures. We saw some of our friends from the actual UK. Yeah. Hey, Tracy. It was so good to see them again.
And if you're not sure what we're talking about, if you link to joyfulmiles.com, my recent blog post about last year's Wine and Dine, I have a picture of us all, and it's one of my favorite pictures.
It's a great picture.
It just capped off what was just an amazing experience, and it's
I'm glad we kind of did it again this year too. It's just kind of like our spot,
We had to Photoshop Megan in there.
Yeah, I photoshopped her because she was getting her wine glass, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice. We got a drink. The bar inside Rose and Crown wasn't as crowded as last year, though.
Oh, really?
No. But then once our crowd dispersed, we decided that we're going to get character photos. That was going to be our priority for tonight. The night Mary Poppins line was really crazy, so we ended up going over to Remy first.
Yeah, I think at that point we decided face characters weren't a good idea because they were really just chatting it up with everybody, and it's like,
God bless them, but come on, man, when there's a line, just smile and say cheese.
Which is fine, that works over the course of a day when you've got, a whole day
Kids.
to kind of worry about it. But when you've got a condensed period, you got to kind of move them along, right? You've only got 3 hours. You've spent a lot of money for this, to this point. You want to try to really.
Exactly.
The line for Remy was probably an hour.
It was
Past
insane.
the fountain. I mean, it was so long. Then we went to America, Princess Tiana, right? Which was just
Oh my goodness.
the longest. It was actually, that line wasn't that long, so we're like, oh, awesome.
But then Tiana took a break, and she stayed on break, and she stayed on break.
It was like 45 minutes.
So then we kind of got fed up. We got a picture with Louis.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
right? Yeah.
So then after Tiana, Jackie, we went to Pinocchio.
It was about 12:30 at this point.
Yeah. So we got a picture with Pinocchio and Geppetto. We're out again.
And they were only maybe 10 people long. So now it's thinning out. At this point, the crowd's thinning. So now we're like, who else can we get? So I'm literally running from country to country, and then they're hobbling. So because I'm getting in line while they're hobbling, and we ran to China next.
Yes, we got
Mulan, and that dragon. What's his name?
And then we Mushu. That was a cute picture. And then we got
We
Donald.
ran to Snow White and Dopey
Yes.
in Germany. No, that was
Yeah,
Pinocchio.
they were
Yeah, it
Germany.
would be in Germany. Snow White's usually in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it was like 12:54, and I'm sprinting to Mexico because I knew Mexico Donald was there. I'm like,
This one got personal because last year we got almost all the characters, but we got there at 5 minutes before closing, and
Which last year was 4:00.
it was 4:00, and they shut the Donald line, so we couldn't get. So we had to get the Donald picture. So that's why Jackie was calling butt.
so yeah, we were like, we can't have the same thing happen as last year and miss Donald because they cut us off. Like we were there and they were like, no. So, but then we messaged our friend James to see where he was at, and he had just got on Frozen at 2 minutes to 1, and of course they let him in the line. So we were waiting for him on the steps of Mexico, and
Got a great
another one of my
picture.
favorite pictures. Because we were trying to recreate the stairs picture from last year where we were all laying.
Oh,
At
yeah.
Alice
The
Barnes.
Alice Barnes lights.
And then
That's
I'm
right.
trying to set up the phone on my backpack on the ground, and this great cast member is like, do you want me to get the picture? And we're like, yeah. And he literally laid on the ground to get the angle of the pyramid and with us on the stairs. I mean, he was so
He was
great.
dedicated.
And he wasn't like he was like a manager. Like he had on fancier clothes, like the tie, not like the uniform. Like he was somebody, and for him to get on the ground and get that picture, and it turned out so cute. So I love that little moment. That was great.
So, you had done your attractions with your fast passes. You didn't do any other attractions after that?
I don't even think we could have.
Yeah.
I bet the lines were so long.
Well, I was going to say, do we know how the lines were as the party kind of progressed?
Should have asked Sarah because I saw that they did. They actually did the photo pass area where Mickey is. What is that called?
The character spot?
Yeah, the character spot. So that was apparently open. I didn't know that. So they got pictures with Mickey and all them, and they did test track. I should have asked Sarah before how the lines were, but it just seemed insane on World Showcase side. We spoke to some people while we were in character line. We actually did speak to some people and ask if they liked the night the night party better. And some people were like, definitely yes, because they like to be able to shower and come and be fresh. I personally liked it when we rolled to the party more.
It's that to me is hard to tell. It was unique.
Yeah.
And I loved that part.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like that.
It was
you can
exhausting.
it's a celebration. You finish your race. And it's that one unique race that you were able to kind of hang out and just party.
With runners in their medals, and they're sweaty, and they're just having a great time.
So what did it do? We know what it costs to buy a ticket separately?
I think 70.
Yeah, it would not have been worth it had we. I mean, that is the one thing that I'm trying to keep in mind. Like, there's no other races that give you an after party, so it is a really nice perk for this race that
And they
you
still
can.
and they still give you your $15 gift card.
Yeah, and you get a
So-
$15
But
gift
no
card.
drink. No drink now.
Yeah, but I mean, that drink at the finish line that was nice, but it's
That-
not like I'm not losing
Right.
sleep over that. But so value wise, that's still pretty decent.
It's better than other races
You
when
get
you
a
really
$15
think
gift
about
card
it,
and an
you
after
know,
party.
and you get a party.
So
So
it's still not
maybe
awful.
right. It's absolutely it's a great perk that makes this race weekend really special. The fact that they do this at all.
If you've never done
But-
Wine and Dine, you have nothing to compare it to. It's still. a
I
pretty
probably
decent
would have
race.
been. I probably would have been a lot lighter.
Yeah.
I would have been lighter. Well, that is going to do it for us today for this Jammin' on the Run session. But if you ran either the 5K or the 10K or the half marathon for Wine and Dine, please leave your experience in the comments below and let us know how you liked it. If you didn't like it, the parts that you were your favorite, least favorite, whatever. We want to hear it all. Also, please subscribe if you would like more video updates, and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Until then, happy running and have a joyful day.
Bye.